In the heart of America's industrial breadbasket, massive facilities operate 24/7. This is just a kitchen.
Before it enters the freezer, a frozen pizza begins here. High-protein hard red winter wheat is the structural backbone of the perfect crust. Every day, over 100,000 pounds of flour arrive by tanker. It is never touched by human hands. Pneumatic systems blast the flour up into towering silos at 60 miles per hour, keeping it aerated and contaminant-free. These silos hold enough flour to produce 500,000 pizzas in a single run. Temperature and humidity are strictly controlled. Before mixing begins, the flour passes through fine mesh sifters and magnets to guarantee absolute purity. The mixing deck is the heart of the operation. Computer-controlled automated batching systems measure ingredients to the gram. Live yeast is activated in warm water slurry tanks, waking up the biological agents that will give the crust its rise. Water, oil, salt, and sugar meet the flour. The automated recipe system adjusts water temperature based on the ambient humidity. A high-torque spiral arm needs 1,000 pounds of dough at once, developing the gluten network essential for a chewy texture. Despite the automation, human tactile inspection ensures the dough has reached the perfect elasticity before proceeding. Once approved, the mixer tilts, releasing a half-ton dough ball into the chunker. The chunker breaks the mass down into manageable pieces to feed the conveyor line steadily without clogging the system. The dough travels upwards to the forming line. From this point on, the clock is ticking against the yeast's activity. An extruder compresses the chunks into a single, continuous carpet of dough, roughly 2 inches thick. Satellite rollers gently massage the dough down, reducing thickness without tearing the delicate gluten structure. Cross rollers stretch the sheet horizontally, relieving tension and preventing the dough from shrinking back later. A calibrated dusting of flour ensures the sheet glides through the final high-compression rollers without sticking. Laser sensors verify the thickness. It must be consistent within a millimeter to ensure even baking. The rotary cutter stamps out 5,000 crusts every hour. It moves at the exact speed of the belt to ensure perfect circles. Nothing is wasted. The scrap web is lifted away, re-kneaded, and fed back into the start of the line. This process, called docking, pins the dough down. Without these holes, steam would create massive bubbles during baking. The crusts enter a direct fire tunnel oven. Temperatures here reach 600 degrees Fahrenheit. In seconds, moisture turns to steam, expanding the dough's internal pockets before the structure sets. This is a par bake. We aren't cooking it fully, just enough to set the structure and create a barrier against the sauce. After just 90 seconds, they emerge, rigid, hot, and ready for cooling. We can't put sauce on hot bread, it would get soggy. The crusts ride a spiral cooler for 20 minutes to reach room temperature. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, the sauce begins with California vine-ripened tomato paste. A proprietary blend of dried herbs and spices weighed out. Consistency here is key to the brand's signature flavor. Giant kettles hydrate the paste. The sauce is kept cold to preserve the fresh tomato acidity. Powerful displacement pumps push the finished sauce 300 feet to the assembly line. Back on the line, the cooled crusts are aligned. If they are off-center by even an inch, the sauce will miss. Photo eye sensors detect the leading edge of each crust, triggering the sauce depositor with millisecond timing. A volumetric piston deposits exactly 3 ounces of sauce in the center of the target. Roller heads descend, spinning the sauce outward to leave a precise half-inch rim for the crust handle. Next, the cheese. Low-moisture part-skim mozzarella arrives in 40-pound blocks. Industrial shredders devour the blocks instantly, creating the familiar strands we recognize. To keep the shreds from clumping back together, they are tumbled with a microscopic layer of food starch. The cheese travels overhead, feeding the waterfall applicators on the main line below. The final destination, your local supermarket. With the insert aisles and stocked in the freezer aisle, waiting for the consumer. The cycle is almost complete. 15 minutes at 400 degrees brings the science of the factory to life. Crust that was formed by massive rollers is now perfectly crispy. The cheese, shredded by giants, melts evenly. A marvel of logistics, engineering, and food science.
That is how millions of frozen pizzas are made every single day in America's massive factories.